Okay, here she is, the Toro production turret, King Tiger, the Henschel turret. She runs on the IBU2, which means she has proportional speed rotation on the turret. This particular tank also has servo-operated MG34. That's the 2-channel amplifier at full volume. I want to see if it's too windy. I want to see if the video camera will pick up the smoke. I think that this Tiger has just the right amount of smoke. That's a brand new V2 smoker in there. I really like the way the exhaust pipes came out for me as well. I painted them first with satin black, and then I dry brushed them with rust. And, you know, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I think they look pretty darn good. This is supposed to be a fairly new tank. I'm selling the tank unweathered. Give the new owner something to do with it. It is set up for 360 turret rotation, but as you saw in the, or as you will see in the inside video, it doesn't have a slip ring. But with only 3 wires coming down from the turret, I don't think you really necessarily need one. Just kind of keep an eye on it, you know, and I usually try to, you know, turn in opposite directions just to be safe. The tank runs and drives just terrifically. Of course, with the IBU2, you get independent up and down movement on the barrel. You don't have to cycle all the way through. This one has a really good airsoft cannon in it, and another feature on this particular tank is this. See if I can position this so you can still see. You can fire the cannon with the stick. Did that show? But you can also fire the cannon with this switch, just on and off. It's got a pretty nice airsoft cannon in it too. That's full power. These are 4-shaft black steel gearboxes. But it performs really well at low speed also. look at her. Those are not decals, those numbers are painted on. I use the Testors Model Master enamel, so if you ever need to match paint, it'll be pretty easy. It's just the Dunkelgelb, the Olivgrün, and the Schokoladenbraun, if I said all that right. All of them 1943 from the Model Master line. See you next time. Okay, this is the Toro King Tiger production turret, and we'll take a look at the inside here and also get some outdoor footage, which you might have already seen. We'll start at the front. These are brand new gearboxes. They are ball bearing black steel gearboxes. This is an IBU2. One of the things I like about the way I have this mounted is that what I'm trying to focus on right there and not succeeding is the SD card. You can see it's right at the top. It's very easy to access for any changes. The only changes I have made to the SD card was to disable the track recoil. I'm using a 5,000 milliamp hour Zippy LiPo battery. This tank will not come with a battery. It's not a good idea to ship used LiPos through the mail. I do have a couple of new ones right here, but you can get those from Hobby King just as easily as you can get them from me. So it's got the IBU2 base, runs on the Hobby King T6 radio. This is a 6-channel. Everything is bound and programmed and ready to go. This is a 2-channel 15-watt amplifier. All right, and that round black knob right there, that is the volume control. Unfortunately, it won't take a Viper, so you can't get volume control from the transmitter. But it is a heck of an amp. I think it's a small sacrifice to have to open the tank to change the volume. In the outdoor footage, I'll have it at full volume, or had it at full volume, as the case may be. It's running 2 Aura 1-inch speakers. These little puppies go for about 15 bucks a piece. That's a brand new V2 smoke unit, which I think gives just the right amount of smoke for this tank. And yes, those wires are what you think they are. The on-off switch in this tank is underneath the jacking block. You will notice that unlike the stock Toro King Tigers you get right now, this one does not have the bridge with the box like the Jagd Tiger does. I like this setup much better with the bridge across. There's only 2 ways to turn the tank on and off. One is through the hatch behind the turret, or you can take the top off. But as you can see from this hatch, there's the back hinge right there, center screen. That hatch isn't going to open with the turret in that position, so you find that you either have to manually rotate the turret around, click, 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 or you have to open the tank just to turn it on and off. I did install those spatter shields on this, and for whoever buys it, you're going to want to keep these, because those are there not only to prevent the grease from getting up into the tank, they also protect the servo cable coming from the servo-operated MG34. If we take the hull top and carefully set it up on its side, you'll be able to see that there is the servo-operated MG34. You can see that that's a pretty easy setup. These are really easy to do. Once you take a look at this one, you're going to want to do it on all your tanks that have got movable machine guns in the front. The slip ring has had the notch removed so that it will go 360 degrees, but as you can see, there is no slip ring. And I'm sorry, I just said the slip ring has had the notch removed. I should have said the turret ring. With this tank, I don't think you really need a slip ring. I mean, there's only those 3 wires coming down from the turret, and that's it. With the IBU2 base, you don't use the trigger switch, so you know, you don't need it. And all you really got to do is keep an eye on those wires, check them once in a while, and if they do start to get twisted up on you, just pull that 3-pin plug off, straighten out the wire, plug it back in. You're back in business, no problem. Oh, and of course, can't forget that. Now, as I said, I will be selling this tank without the battery, and it is set up right now for XT60 connectors, but I will include this adapter. This will get you from, you plug this into the tank, and then that'll plug into any Tamiya style connector battery that you may have. This will still run on a 7.2 NIM, but you'll have to throw the trigger switch on the you'll have to throw the dip switch on the IBU2. I'll check to make certain. I can't remember if it's channel 4 or channel 5, or should I say dip switch 4 or dip switch 5, that has to be in the off position for NIM. Right now it's set for LiPos, but if this 5000 Zippy will fit in there, a standard LiPo will fit no problem. If you are using LiPos, I'll throw in an LVA, because you really want to have one LVA for each tank. So that's the LVA right there, and it's no big deal for me to throw it in, fellas. It's not like I'm being a nice guy. They cost like, what, 18 cents a piece? So that's the inside of the tank. I like to think I did a nifty little installation. There was a thread done just on the installation of this IBU2. It was called One Way to Put an IBU2 in a King Tiger. And as you can see, there's the board. Now that's the 8-pin wire, you know, kind of laying there looking like spaghetti, and that's the wire for the low voltage alarm. But once those are plugged in, everything's kind of a nifty little installation. All the wires are, you know, neatly tucked away and secured where they're supposed to be. The main power and the power wire for the smoke run down this side of the tank and then split off. So there you have it. That's the insides of the King Tiger. And now we'll button her up. I'll show you how easy that is, and then I'll take it out and get the footage that you may or may not have already seen. Yeah, like I said, easy peasy here. You just plug in the LVA. I set the tank up just like this so that I can hold it. Plug in my 8-pin. Now some people will change batteries, you know, with this still hooked up, but I figure as easy as this is to do, I always take the wires off whenever I pull the upper hull. Now, this is the servo cable for the machine gun. All I really tell myself to remember is that the shiny little brass pieces go towards me, because orange is signal, which goes towards what you're looking at, the right side of the receiver. Just put this servo cable down there. I like to take a second and make sure everything's going to lay down the way I want it to when I close up the hull. Then this one just slides in. It's got a pretty good fit, but I like to do this, split them apart so they don't get hung up. And I just kind of wiggle it down on there. Click everything in place, give it a check. Alright, we'll give it a quick go here for you. Like I said, the on-off switch is right here, and I really love that. It's really easily accessible. Here the IBU2 just kick in. Let me check the camera here. Alright. Now I set this up so that when I'm running it so that when I'm looking at the tank, if I turn the knob to the right, the machine gun will move to the right, and if I turn it to the left, the machine gun will move to the left. That would be kind of opposite from the gunner's position. But you can see the servo-operated machine gun works quite well. Set it wherever you want, and then just let go of the knob. And there you have her.